and welcome. I'm Cecilia Amogbe.
It's great to be on the show. Sports this morning on your award-winning station, Channels Television. I'm yours truly, Ayotunde Balogun.
That's right. It's good to have you join us as we take you through your action-packed world of sports. I'm Austin Okonakwan. Let's begin with table tennis in Nigeria. We're getting ready for the 2016 Rio Olympics. And for Team Nigeria, it will be beyond players' participation as umpires James Peters and the lady on your screen, Cecilia, they've been listed to feature at the 2016 Rio Olympics.
And of course, from that, we'll move straight to badminton. We will be doing the review of that, what happened in 2015, and of course, what we should be expecting in 2016. Being Olympics here, remember the All Africa Games, they won just 5 medals, and none of them was a gold medal.
And of course, in England, talking about the English Premier League, what should have been a top-of-the-table clash in many aspects, well, it didn't turn out that way. The two giants of the league, Chelsea and of course Manchester United in Old Trafford. We expected a win, but at the end of the day, it was a shared point between these two. And of course, the question remains, how will these two giants in the Premier League turn their season around?
Definitely, that will be something we'd all have to look forward to. I actually expected a win yesterday simply because, Liverpool was under pressure. And good ending, the first game it was a draw, so the second game we expected something better, but it just didn't turn out that way. Both of them had to share the point. But Manchester United happens to be the better team. And Liverpool did everything he could, but it just wasn't enough because he had to play the players in their correct position. But I think he just couldn't get that victory. He
couldn't get a victory, and it just goes to show, how things have been. I don't want to use the word bad, but of course it has been bad for Manchester United. But before the game, he in a press conference, he charged the players to just go out, play the game, fight, win. After that, if you win, then we know what we can do. We take it away from there. But it didn't happen, like you rightly said. And for Chelsea, going into that game without a striker, having to play Eden Hazard as a false 9, what would have, wondered what would have happened, if you had Diego Costa in the side. Perhaps their fortunes would have changed. But I think it was a good result at the end of the day. 0-0.
Yeah.
Austin is laughing.
I think it's a reflection of what both club sides are going through, Chelsea and Manchester United. But again, the players took the game away from themselves to the coaches. Because both coaches actually coming out to say, look, guys, it's about time to start winning and all of that. On a good day, that sort of game is explosive.
Explosive,
see a lot of goals and in the end, both sides.
At the point, we even thought we were going to be having some red cards because it was getting fierce at some point between the two.
When you consider where both sides are on the log, and Manchester United and their poor run of results, you expect them to come all out at Old Trafford and get the business done. But it didn't go that way, and I think both of them, at the end of the day, I'm talking about the coaches now. So I think the point shared isn't bad.
Isn't bad. For neutrals who watched the game, it's a fair result.
But for us that will come here to talk about it, the fans, bragging rights, lost, and don't forget about those other guys that I will be betting and all. So that sort of results.
You don't want to bet on such a game at this point in time. No, you might just end up being disappointed.
Okay, let's leave Manchester United now, and come back to our talk grassroots football development. We keep telling you that is the basis for every form of development for any country that wants the football, their badminton, their volleyball, whatever type of sport you want it to shine, then you need to go to the grassroots. In Nigeria, the first vice president of the Nigeria Football Federation, Akinwunmi, came back to Lagos to organize the Under-13 Charity Cup. It's called the Akinwunmi Charity Mini Tournament. What did they do with it, guys? They went back to, pick guys, that's it right there, pick guys from the streets, put together a team, show some love for them. Just another way of celebrating Christmas. But interesting pictures there. The All-Star Games, the first vice president, the president of the Nigeria Football Federation, the second vice president, and the chairman of the LMC, Shehu Diko. You see AY, the comedian. A lot of stomachs in the way, but
you had to rub that in, Austin. They won't like that.
It's okay. I also see Femi Bajabia Miller, House of Rep member. You see the FA chairman from Ondo State. There's also the President General, Rafiu Ladipo of the Supporters Club.
It's really, it's really interesting to know that. I mean, you're talking about pot belly, but Maju Pinnick actually scored a stunner, in
Oh,
the
yeah?
3-2 win, the veterans game and all that. He scored the opening goal, and he played the whole 90 minutes, the whole duration of the game. It wasn't up to my 90 minutes, but the whole game, he played in that one. It tells you that when these guys definitely, they still have some football in them. That's why the fact that they're seeing the pot belly and all that. Even Deji Tinubu also was also part of the squad.
Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that we're having such initiatives coming up at this point in time, because we talk about grassroots development and how important it is to really get our football back on track. And for the NFF president, Maju Pinnick, has been talking about it, for many days and weeks now. So it's a good thing to see. I just hope that going forward, we'll definitely take a whole lot of advantage of such initiatives and better our football.
And then according to the visionary of the campaign, Akinwunmi, for him, he says there's no greater joy than giving back, particularly when you go to the streets, you pick guys who a lot of people consider less privileged, and but they still have talent. You bring them together in a season of love and happiness, togetherness, oneness, bring them play football, and not just watch those guys play, even seeing these older guys come out to play football. I'm just trying to wonder the amount of medics on that day of that.
Come on.
Lukai Rabon was also in that team. Sunday Dele Ajayi is scary. Imagine those guys falling down. The little double team match we played, I'm still trying to walk right, and then you see those guys coming out to play football.
It's all about keeping fit.
Yeah,
it's all about keeping
for
fit.
them at that point.
For some who may not have been doing that for a very long time, now they know what it is, and I can only ask them, to just keep at it.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a very good one. And when you look at the caliber of people that came out to show love, to the kids, you want to say well done to the Lagos State Football Association, also thumbs up to the Nigerian Football Federation for making out time to come out and support grassroots football development. Because I think at this level, if they can come out to see the needs of football at that grassroots level, they can understand developmental programs also.
Yeah, definitely, and it's definitely more than that. They also have objectives that includes rehabilitation of ailing ex-international footballers, which is another thing. They also have a situation whereby they have this Courage Education Foundation, whereby whatever profits they get from most of this tournament, it's going to go into that. It's actually dedicated to empowering the Nigerian child, male or female, and also you have the under 13 category and all that, where talent can also be discovered. I think it's an all-round development, talking about helping us international education, of course, developing young footballers. I think it's all well and good. He says, just like you said, he said something like, there's nothing so special as giving back to the society. So that's what he's trying to. That's why all his friends across Nigeria had to come and actually support him in this particular project. More people can actually, take a cue from that and see how you can just have, an organization whereby, a charity foundation whereby you can actually help other people. It will definitely help the country.